Alright, so what's up guys, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be showing you Toppo. So before I actually go to the gameplay... Oh no, please don't come. Okay, good. Ignore his sounds in the background. Anyways, he is a physical attack type. We'll get to the more specifics later, but his passive involves basically that the power that he gives each and every character, which is his unique effect, Mark of Destruction. It's basically a poison or bleed type effect that you can stack. And his ability is basically that he gets faster when he moves towards enemies that have this effect on them. Now, his destructive flash, as you can see, is just a barrage of ki, and it applies Mark of Destruction, its effect to the enemy. That's pretty much it. And you can move while attacking, unlike, for example, normal Super Saiyan Goku. There is also this one, Demolition Tornado. As the video already shows, it's just a spin attack. You can move while attacking, which makes it pretty good. Once again, applies its effect, and the more stacks the effect has, the more damage it does, which I actually didn't know before recording the footage of gameplay. And this one, I call it the destruction type, but I call it the counter. It basically only does basically when an enemy is attacking you, or you see them attacking you with a super attack or something, you use it, you get an extra HP as well as energy defense up if it's a blast attack, which I guess makes sense for him. He did disintegrate ki blasts or ki attacks in the anime. It also does a shit ton of damage. As it says, the more you are attacked in this stance, the more damage it's dealt. It can be really sick sometimes, and once again it applies Mark of Destruction. Now, this one, the ult is pretty good actually. It has a long waiting time, well, not a long waiting time, but it has a waiting time like any other ultimate, and it does much more damage if the enemy has a Mark of Destruction effect, because the more stacks he has, the more all of those stacks will be consumed to deal extra damage. And yeah, as it said, more damage will be dealt the more stacks you have. Now back to the rush attack. As I said it, we'll come back to it. Now it's the time. It extends the duration of Mark of Destruction because you're still fighting it. Somewhere it said it too. Yeah, effect duration increases when attacks land, except for the super attack. But basically, you shorten all of your skill cooldowns, which is also really good because you can just basically spam this unless the enemy is able to dodge it, and then you can give him Mark of Destruction and then just go close up to him, fight him a bit, give him more, or you can just instantly leave it and then give him a Demolition Tornado. Or if he fights back, you can just activate the counter. You just have to be fast on your feet to actually react with that. And also, yeah, shortens cooldown if target is a hero, shortens cooldown more when there are Mark of Destruction stacks. I also didn't know, but yeah. It shortens the cooldowns even more when the effect is on the enemy. So basically you can just rapid fire it if there is a really tanky enemy and he leaves you alone and just deals with another tank, for example. Anyway,
I have made my choice.
That's basically how the character's moveset. And now switch over to the actual fights. Also, forgive me, but there's not gonna be a sound for the actual fighting footage because I originally recorded it with the intention that it's gonna be another live commentary video, and then I decided last minute, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to have an in-post commentary while I'm reacting to my own footage. So yeah, onto the footage. Alright, so this was my 4th match of the day. No, actually my 5th. I played 4 before it, and they were hell. It was just a mix of just people, my teammates, refusing to defend the objective, and then when somebody actually asks to surrender, they never surrender it. At least I actually did my mission of my weeklies, because I was trying to get my weeklies done here. And one of my weeklies was evade 10 attacks, somehow I managed it. There I used my first ability already. It's not exactly a very good one. It stacks damage and it also gives you continuous damage, so at least that's nice. We went on the offensive. I think we actually failed to get a kill here, sadly. I think I became too greedy and yeah, I died. Here I also politely thanked my teammate 17 for refusing to help me. Here I actually managed to do the counter, which instantly eliminates Toppo, well, almost instantly. I tried to be greedy, go after Caulifla. Sadly, I instantly gave up because he was able to go into the healing place. This is where the boss fight happened. I was a bit late with my ult there, but at least 17 picked up the slack and helped. Here I went for the chip damage instantly, because, well, I thought that was the most intelligent move. I don't get killed here heavily, because that random freezer soldier just protected my ass. As you can see, I also picked that card. So it's you get a damage boost if the enemy gets under 50% HP. Here I go for attacking Toppo. Here I did something that I was pretty surprised myself. I hit him so that he would counter me, and then I activated my counter so that I would counter his counter. And then we actually finished off the job. Here I went for not helping my teammate because he's a bitch, and also the God of Destruction was at low HP. This is where we went on to have a pretty short match, well, pretty short fight at least. Sadly my 17 died alongside the Toppo. Here we went for a double max Gekishin burst, sadly interrupted just in time. I went for one more, I think that was an accidental chip damage. As you can see, I one hit basically with that counter because he did so much damage to me. I forgot how bad its range was for the ult. Well, it's not the best range. I thought it would go further, but it still got the kill. And here I just flew around so that I could attack the lower side, because I thought 17 would be able to protect it. But instead he also ran away. At least I got the God of Destruction finished. And got the kill. Well, an assist. I didn't start to help my teammates with the boss. Here I kinda had a realization how vulnerable you are if you just try to run away. Because look how easily I just killed that Toppo. And now I got 46 seconds to just do this. To just basically chip damage. Well, I call it chip damage. I don't know actually what it actually would be called. There came Goku to save my ass so that I would get killed. And I got pretty pissed here, because I just got loss after loss, like 4 times in a row. And now, for some reason, the enemy team was intelligent enough to surrender. This is how the base... that's how the base MVP screen looked like. This next fight... it at least started good, because we had a nice like emote spam match at the start of the game. Zamasu is always a pretty interesting start. Here I couldn't believe my eyes. It felt like that my counter got taken away. It felt really unfair for me, but hey, maybe it was cooler being cooler. Here I finish up the tank, and then we went to go for the enemy Toppo. As you can see, it was very easy when he feeds my counter, and also with Summersuit there. After that we went to... well, I went to get some chip damage off. Meanwhile, Summersuit tried to help me the best he could. There is another problem that I have with my teammates. Look, I went back to protect him, and instead of running away, he turned back, thought that we would attack again, and I don't know if he got himself killed. Here I landed a really good ult. Sadly, the enemy also does a pretty good ult. I managed to get a kill off, and here I tried to help my teammate, sadly die in the process. After this I deployed a helper for my power, and I just completely whiffed that counter, sadly, and I think I also paid a price. And here is where I figure out that the Mark of Destruction actually does continuous damage as long as you have it. So that was a fun discovery during that. Here I get attacked a few times. I think I also die for it. I also like to go like up, like in an A formation, to attack this the God of Destruction, because there is always a chance that the enemy is down there in the lower middle just farming. Here I run away because I saw a character that outleveled me. Honestly, we had a pretty good match so far. Sadly, we didn't get the Rebrian, so that means they got a triple boss KO. We went for surrender, and surprisingly, for the first time that day, the enemies actually surrendered. In the next game we got a Frieza, Goku and Kalika. By the way, if you want to pick the enemy, oh no, I'm just getting flashbacks. Basically for most of the game I was fighting against Majub and Baby, and they are the most asocial combo. They just spam that wave over and over and over. Now admittedly I was also pretty ass this round, because I for some reason completely forgot about my counter. Yes, in my first game you saw me use it like occasionally, and I whiffed it once, but this time I basically just whiffed it all pretty often in this game. So sadly I wasn't that big of a help. Also, I'm a pretty big hater of Baby. Here I also said that I thanked Frieza for not coming to help me. Here we went to defeat the enemy, as again I was fashionably late with my ult. But at least, well, sadly I wasn't able to get him because I was stuck in the NPC. I pretty often get stuck, sadly, in the enemy, in random props in the map. That's just a me problem. Not anything that I would blame the developers for or something. Here I, for the first time, actually use my goddamn power, and then get instantly eradicated. Well, unfairly. Here I get ambushed, sadly, by once again the Baby and Maju combo. I just hate it. I hate it so much. So I decided to just run away, like Frieza would run away from me usually. Sadly I was stuck on the other side, but at least I got chip damage off. Frieza actually decided to pull an ult here. Pretty nice thing. And here I thought we should honestly just push the other side because it's just a 3 against 2. It's a technical and 2 damage types. There's also a baby. I hate that baby. I gotta make like a list of characters who I hate. Here I decided to just use that last power because I decided to use the moment that there is a delay, a waiting time between abilities. Here I decided to finally get my get back and have a 1v1 against that goddamn annoying baby. And actually managed it. I was pretty mad at that baby. I died shortly after though, and then we got a triple boss KO, which didn't help us since now it's just 40 seconds of just pure pain. Oh my god, Hit's an annoying ability is invisibility, honestly. Anyways, this is one of the times, once again, that it was a hopeless case, but for some reason, the enemy team, well, my team didn't want to surrender. Also, I was on the other side of the map because I knew that it was hopeless to win. I basically just gave up. I tried to get at least a bit more damage done. Oh yeah. I think I left the selection clip in here because just had a goddamn emote spam metal here. Oh my god, I'm remembering more and more. By the way, I'm recording this like the day after because editing the video took so long, and also I was pretty hooked on Dokkan Battle, like getting a few currencies, like getting Dragon Stones so that I can summon for the Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku banner. But I'm now remembering like Guts, that default Goku. It wouldn't be the first time that I beat him. Wait, was that also another Guts in the enemy team? I think I got the same Guts, not the enemy Guts, but my ex-teammate Guts in the other match. Here I managed to clean up at least that tank, so that was something. Here I decided to whiff just basically almost everything. Still, however, the Goku decided to not go into the circle of healing. So I was able to clean it up pretty well. Here we once again go for the tank, because the tank is for me the most painful thing. Here I whiff another counter again, sadly. Goku can't run away from this except if he uses Kaioken and also runs away. I'm also pretty low. My powers are also pretty... my health is also pretty low. And at the start of the game, if you don't have enough of your powers like powered up, or maybe it's just a early game thing, it is goes pretty slow. Here I managed to... oh no. I forgot. A random Super Saiyan 2 Goku just spawned in and I just killed him on the spot. Here I whiff my bullet barrage, whatever it's called. Here I wanted to go after Huda, but it's once again a lost cause if he gets to the healing circle. This Goku wasn't very smart about it though. Then we went on to fight this dude, and I think I whiffed the ult here, yep. Here I decided to wait around in defense for the other Guts. Here I really whiffed the timing on the counter again. I was pretty tilted about it too, sadly. I need to work on the timing a lot more. Anyways, as you can see, they managed to triple boss KO later on. And I didn't know what to do. Also, I got killed before I could use my ult. And this is where they actually get the Dragon Ball. Here I got tilted because my teammates just couldn't do anything great this round. The only teammate who actually did something good was the Zamasu on my lane. They destroyed basically every other god of destruction in the upper lane as far as I can remember. Anyways, this next round, I saw guts in my team. And I got pretty tilted about it, so you wanna know what I did? I rage quit. Now, this is the actual next round. Here I found a nice dude called Giulius. I think he was a pretty solid tank. I have to rewatch the footage right now. Actually, a moment again. Once again, we saw another Toppo. I was also pretty surprised that somebody was playing Kale and called themselves Tryhard. I actually don't know if Caulifla is a good character. I played her once. And that fight in that game was a win, and after that I decided I'm not going to do anything else with her. Here I managed to get the god of the god of creation, at least. Here I wanted to do chip damage, but sadly their helper was able to get me. And I also fucked up because I used the wrong ability. Yeah, I just decided to get a bit of damage off on the enemy, well, on the boss. I wanted to help my teammate, but then he went in too far, so I went back and attacked the Nappa again. I pretty closely just whiffed some of these stuff. Here I think, yep, both of us used an ult, but this time I wasn't actually late with my ult, so that was nice. After that I went on to do another counter. I didn't sadly get enough damage in, or he just dodged it. I don't know why I did that nonsensical circle, to be honest. But at least I actually got to finish one of them. Here I was once again farming the enemy. I just very barely missed that enemy ult. And then I went after that Toppo. Sadly, that was a 17 just waiting for me. So I decided, you know what? Chip damage it is. Here said I think we get Tryhard. But honestly, I just well, we were just aura farming, me and that Toppo. After that, I decided to run back. Sadly, my cooler didn't have the same idea, so I decided to go back a bit and look at him, that he also escapes. After that I sneaked around once again using my strategy, going in the middle, and managed to get off a max Gekishin burst along with 2 power hits. Oh, by the way, notice how in the top left corner you see the map, and in the down left, in mine and Cooler's lane, there hasn't been any damage done yet, and in the top lane, one of the GODs is already gone. Pretty weird, isn't it? Anyways, here I whiffed, I think, the counter, but at least I was the distraction to actually have them get the Dragon Ball. Here Hit got distracted because he doesn't have a lot of damage abilities. I don't remember which one he has. He has Assassin Strike, Stealth, and another one. Anyways, Hit was the MVP somehow, so I guess they weren't as bad as I thought. And now came another, well, let me check for the username of that dude. Yep, this was a hype round. I can already just tell from the cooler's name. That cooler was my best friend that round. He was honestly, and I'm not using it lightly, even though he was a bit brain lagged at the start, like there, he was actually the best teammate I have ever had in this game so far. Sure, he may have left me with the tank, but I was able to get it. Here I whiffed the counter, but I still was able to go after the Zamasu and get that clean kill. It was honestly a weird exchange, just me going after the tank and he going after the damage dealer. Here we had a few emotes. Realized he had the same emotes as me. Well, one of the same emotes. Here I think I whiffed the dodge, sadly. I managed to get that dude on low HP with the Majuk and he died for it. I didn't let that Samasu run away though. Not that he would have been able to run into the healing corner this time. And as per the starting match, you don't exactly do a lot of damage. Here I did a little ult so that I'd be able to do something against it. It could have been bad if this was late game. And then I ran back. Actually, I wanted to run back to here, but then the Xeno changed direction, so I decided to go back to here. Anyways, here we get their power. Well, GOD. I think the Majuk just leaves this tank for a little bit. And I was just annoyed at that goddamn ult, how slow it made it. And here I sadly died to the of Machu, I think. Cooler told me to attack the snapper, so I did as I obliged as he wanted. I was able to get a counter off on that bot, which was pretty surprising. And then I waste my ult because I really wanted to get the bosses. After this, well, it was just pure chaos. I whiffed that, sadly, that power. Well, I don't think I whiffed, I just didn't use any of them that well. Here I almost dodged it, but then I whiffed the bullet barrage again. I think my Kuda was very disappointed in me because instead of actually going to keep attacking, I wanted to do the counter because I thought the Zamasu would try to be intelligent. Here the Zamasu, well, I guess he couldn't have helped the other dude, the Majuk, so he tried to run away himself, but you can see how that went. Here I ran together with Kula once again. See, this is why I'm saying he was the best teammate. We were just coordinating, attacking boss after GOD after boss after GOD over and over. Here we decided to do a slide bait, and I decided to just, well, I left Cooler behind, but he is a tank, so he can handle himself, so that I was able to distract the Maju. Here I somehow was able to bait Samasu back to me by being low HP and Cooler being just around the corner. Half of their team was gone, but still the other two people were protecting it still. Here I tried to counter, but Piccolo actually did a pretty clean cannon. After that I decided to go back once again to fight the boss. Well, another boss. This time Cooler wasn't with me, but at least I had Piccolo with me, and with that we secured, I think, a quadruple boss KO actually. By the way, that snowball ability, my first card ability in the bottom left corner of the screen, I wasn't exactly, I don't think I'll be using that power again. The defense buff is so much better. Here I didn't have my ult, but at least I had my cooler with me to help me. And I think this is the match where you see how the default Dragon Ball screen for Toppo looks, which is this. Honestly, this cooler, Marco Pogni, I need to remember him. He was such a good teammate. He actually coordinated, like he used the markers in an intelligent way. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get another good teammate like Marco Pogni ever again. Unless I by some miracle reach goddamn A tier or S tier, S rank. Here I thought about the cell and thought about my well, which tanks I would use. Honestly, I like Zamasu, but he is almost too simple of a character. This was honestly a really bad start. We circled back. I was able to get the counter off. I don't know against who though. Maybe that goddamn Dodoria. You know, more and more I'm starting to realize that Dodoria is a pretty... well, I honestly am a Zarbon fan when I'm using Frieza and his henchmen. I decided to use my ult again. Sadly it wasn't enough, but and I kept running into the beams, but happily we were still able to get it. But fortunately. It looked like pure chaos back then, but it looked pretty cool. Anyways, here I decided to fight against this goddamn Goku, who was able to activate my counter, and I was somehow able to just walk or dodge out of his ult. I don't understand how I did it. Did I just, for a short period, run into the base? Did an ability, and because one of the dudes was still attacking me, I was able to damage it? Because that is extremely fortunate timing. Here Frieza goes into my ult, but sadly, technicals are much faster than tanks and damage dealers, so I wasn't able to do anything. Here I whiffed my counter for the extra damage. I'm really bad with it sometimes when it comes to counters, but at least we managed to get the Nappa. After that, I was able to, I was able to use the counter on Vegeta, but I was on such low HP that I needed to return to heal. Here I decided to do the most useless ult ever, followed by the second most useless ult placement ever. And sadly, because he's a Frieza, he's able to run away. So I decided to just fly a bit away and then run back to Goku. But I whiffed that circling because that tornado attack is always usually the last one that gets upgraded for me. After that, the whole squad pulled up to attack the last God of Destruction while Vegeta was trying to be sneaky. But honestly, it's useless since we had a Cell. Cell is basically my favorite tank, but I've been playing more Zamasu lately, so I'm starting to like Zamasu more too. But anyway. Oh yeah. This was after a really bad round. But at least I think my teammates actually were smart enough to find the surrender button. So the pain didn't last as long. So, needless to say, I wasn't very hopeful when the fight started. Well, when we actually went into it. I'm usually very motivated, especially after I whiffed that. Still, I was able to get the baby, and for some, I don't know why, but Baby was completely alone here. I don't know if the Trunks was AFK or if he just wanted to help defend the top lane. Here I once again got stuck on the prop, somehow made a good enough timing to actually, as you can see, do that. Here I decided to do a max Gekishin burst together with Zamasu, so really the same timing, well, almost perfectly timed max Gekishin burst. And here I think, yeah, we got the baby. And thanks to the actual max Gekishin burst, I had enough HP to feel confident. Here he ran away, but the Zamasu actually managed to clean it up. Then I cut to when I do another max Gekishin burst. This time my Zamasu wasn't here sadly with me. He was well, he was trying to get the baby once again. Here, Baby tried to do an max Gekishin burst, but he doesn't know that I actually tend to look at my defense points, unlike his team. I don't know if this Baby is a good player or not, but his teammates were certainly not there for him, so I can definitely feel his pain when it comes to that. And to just clean up the round even more, we will go for the second boss that spawned in, with Trunks being fashionably late as always. And I think, yeah, he actually managed to get it. At this rate, me and this Zamasu were just full on attack mode, and we wanted to support our fellow Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So we went to attack it, to destroy that last God of Destruction. Adenon went to wait until the next Zeno came along, and as you can see, wanted to go in for the chip damage, but first I used the ult to give them pressure. Sadly my teammate left me back, so I decided to do just one. Just one hit. And once again I got tilted because it was a good round that once again ended with a surrender. I honestly can't believe how this can happen to me. Anyways, this round had another good cooler player. Coincidentally, he had the same skin as as Marco. Still. And also, I think I remember how this match went. Basically, it went a lot like it was going to be a lost cause. Like we were getting cooked sometimes pretty bad. That all changed, however, after we managed to actually well, it all changed after we decided to just swap around. Anyways, here I went for the tornado attack instead of the counter, and then I just had a pew battle with that aura farm Toppo. We decided to go for the hit, and after the hit we decided to run away and decided to just go all in for the Toppo, while my technical dealt with the other technical, but sadly he wasn't able to, since he was able to run away. Here I did what I do always best, which is just wait until the enemy chips enough damage from the boss and then just go in and do the last few attacks. In this case, Gohan was able to bring it home. After that we just well, I was just annoying the enemy team who tried to attack us, our GOD, but somehow weren't confident enough. Here I managed to get off a pretty good counter. After that I whiffed the ult and sadly died for it. Here I somehow whiffed a bullet barrage on a still standing enemy, but at least my cooler was here to help me. I also saw that the enemy hit was trying to steal the kill, trying to use my... Well, I mean, I guess I picked up that trait of waiting until the enemy team lowers them to low enough HP from technical, since I play a lot of Go tanks. We had wanted to do a max Gekishin burst. Goku decided to waste a lot of his abilities, well, 2 of his abilities, and we decided that it looks like it's worth, because nobody is defending lower lane, and for some reason my team wants to surrender while we are actually just doing the biggest amount of chip damage. Honestly, I also said yes because I thought it was hopeless. Now here I just decided to do once again the sneaky maneuver of running into the lane on the top, and somehow we managed to do a triple boss KO. Here I used my ultimate again to run away basically, and then I ran back and watched as they actually managed to get the Dragon Ball. It was such a satisfying win, because it was actually a win where the enemy didn't surrender again. I think this was my last match with Toppo, however. After that I wanted to do a match with Zamasu. This is actually my second match, because the first match we surrendered in like the first 5 minutes. It was going so badly. Here I also just lamented the fact that I'm playing a Zamasu, a character I don't exactly think is the best tank in the game, against a Cell, with which I have a pretty good experience with. And despite the fact that I don't have a lot of expectations for my Zamasu, I actually managed to 1v1, or semi-1v1 the tank. Yeah, I wanted to just hold them off as long as possible, so that they won't go in to attack our thing, but sadly, by the time that already happened, well, I was successful in my mission, since we finished it, and then I just went straight ahead to their GOD to get a few chip damages in. Well, damage in. I've been calling it chip damage, but chip damage is what I call it for. I'm doing these Gekishin bursts, but I'm also just well, I get interrupted by the enemy. By the way, can I just say how clean the finisher animation looks for Zamasu? I'm so sad that I haven't gotten his intro yet. I was pretty tilted that Cell just decided to transform mid-fight, but hey, if you have the transformation, you should use it. Here I just get double teamed by Trunks and Cell, but Toppo, being the GOAT that he is for once, actually manages to defend me and actually kill one of them. So now we're just here defending. Cell thinks he can actually do something by solo attacking. Sadly, he doesn't realize that we have a 2v1 isn't exactly something that you can manage when playing like that. Here I just now wait until my Toppo is done and decide to attack the Nappa during it. My Toppo up above think, just decided to try to distract the enemy. But in the end, it didn't even matter all that much. He just needed to be there so that he would pressure Trunks. Anyways, here I get another chip damage off so that the GOD gets destroyed. And then we went into a full-on fight. Cell, as you can see, ran away. And here I tried to save my Toppo from death. He used his ult and I used my ult, which gave me invulnerability and also disabled that 1v1 arena. So now basically he's already fucked. I tried to push him away. I even attacked him while he was regenerating, and I still was just dog walking him, as you can see, even with his helper. After that I decided, you know what, I know that I also have a helper, let me do the defense. But yeah, this is the average match between two tanks, the average fight between two tanks. Once again I just sneaked up and went for the well, the damage on the goddamn GOD. I backpedaled so that I could have a Toppo assist me easier. And even though I basically pushed him into running away, he still ran back. Here I forgot I did that. This was such a bastard move. The boss was so low that I just this little bit of damage from me. The first few balls of my first skill was enough to just kill him. Anyways, here I just decided to go and attack Brienne. 17 decided to follow me, an unexpected move if I'm honest, because I don't expect anything from my teammates anymore. Here I just whiffed the goddamn third skill, which is a pretty important skill, and the ult actually manages to make it actually managed to steal Brienne. So I guess karma came for me when I stole that one. Yeah, I got stuck in the wall trying to run away, and still somehow managed to run away. And then once again, a lone Cell decided to attack us. All alone. This time I beat him with 17 though. Then we also realized that another boss had spawned, and now I had my good friend Toppo actually with me this time. I decided to use my ult since it was a slowing zone, so anyone would think twice before running here. Still, basically only Cell came up, and Cell was already doing too little too late, since we were already on the last two GOD, they were on the last two GODs. And here basically he just fucked himself, because he used the ult while Toppo was doing tornadoes outside. And then the enemy team just surrendered. And I also got to see my P-time victory screen. And once again, this is the only reason I wasn't tilted. I finally got to see this MVP screen. After this I just contemplated gambling a few. And yeah, I didn't get a single Toppo or Goating skin, so I'm pretty sure I'll never get it. And then I decided to open 12 whole capsules. I know it said 10, but I bought 2 more with my remaining gems, because I had 155 left. The Krillin one is not worth mentioning. This is also a dupe, so it was pretty painful. I don't know, actually know why I waited for so long. Anyways, I got a legendary, and look at this bullshit. I got legendary reanimation for Gamma 1 and 2, a character that I played like 3 times in my in this game's lifetime. I would have loved either of the other 2 legendary animations, but instead I got Gamma 1 and 2's legendary start. Like, what is this bullshit? Then I got another dupe. I mean, it's par for the course for the average player's gambling spree. I actually got something new with a Toppo, whose battle stance. I always like the intros, but you know, I would have liked the tank dual attack more, or dual kick, I think. Then I got, once again, the goddamn dupe. Something sad is also coming up in a minute that I didn't react to in the moment, but it also was pretty asocial from the game. Like, you saw how the only two new things that I got were that legendary animation and then also the Toppo entrance, well, intro screen, their most lowest rarity one. Well, in a minute you'll see something sad. At least it wasn't a, you know, leggy dupe. So at least I was spared from that pain. Like, imagine if I would have gotten a legendary that... one of the older legendaries, which are rarer to get, and it's a dupe. Because that would be pretty painful for me. Anyways, I decided to open one last one here. And lo and behold, what do I get? A dupe for the thing that I just got. For Toppo. Thank you, game.